Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on, all of you Mukai tears out there, all of the sweet, sweet Brentologists, you Mukuleles, you fun and wild League of Extraordinary Brentlemen. How are you all? I'm doing good. I forgot that my other computer isn't on, so I'm turning it on now so I can look up other stuff later on. It's been busy. It's been busy. Let's get that out of the way, shall we? It's been busy. I started doing this thing called What I Did Today, hashtag What I Did Today. I'm cleaning up as I'm going. I started doing this thing, and I started realizing just day to day how much I do. So in this, if you don't follow me on any of the social media stuff, and you get you only like me on the podcast format, then for one, you're deeply fucking up, because I'm putting out funny stuff. I'm putting out things that'll brighten your day. So go ahead and follow me on whatever social media you are in. I don't know. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So I'm sure that unless you're 105 years old, that you're on at least one of those. So I started putting out this series called What I Did Today, hashtag What I Did Today, and all I do is I talk about what I did that day. And I'm noticing I pack my days. My days are full of shit. Like, there's rarely a day where I'm just sitting around doing nothing, which is kind of cool. But now the trick is, like, my days are busy, and I'm also starting to see how much I'm fucking around. Like, if I talk about, like, oh, I did this and I did this, and sometimes it's like, well, couldn't I have done more? It's like I'm auditing now how much I am doing versus how much I still could be doing. And to a lot of people, I think a lot of people are like, you're doing a lot, and that's fine, but like, I want so much, and I have such big ambitions. Like, let's talk about that, huh? I don't know that I've talked about what I actually want, so let's get clear. Let's get clear and concise. Goal setting, the first rule is get specific with the goals. Here is my goal. Here is the ultimate, right? Here is the ideal life that I have for myself. Let's start with this. Voice actor, right? So I mean voice actor, improv trainer, entertainer. Here is the life that I would like to live. I would like to be able to get to LA, right? Live in California comfortably, not like scraping by and struggling as it I might have to eventually do when I do make the move over. I'd like to do that within the next few years as I build my voiceover business. I think that that'll be an important choice. I missed moving in my 20s. So that's the thing, right? Is like, move when you're young. In the voiceover world, though, like, what's cool is that my voice is my voice. So I sound younger, and so that's not going to change. Like that doesn't matter at all. It's not like being on camera and, like, if I was 35 and moving, I think I can almost guarantee I'll be in California before I'm 35. If everything goes according to plan, which we all know that doesn't ever happen, right? Plans never fully work out, but the loose plan is get to California, be working in LA, doing cartoons, perhaps video games. I think I've narrowed it down to, like, if I want to do video games, I want to do it all. I want to do fucking everything under the sun, right? I want to be the voice of I don't know. What if there was a brand of something that I could be the voice of, what would I want to be the voice of? That's a good question. Toys, specific toys, Hot Wheels, I loved as a kid. I would love to be the voice of, like Diet Coke, if they had a special campaign just for Diet Coke, but that's not really a thing. You don't ever see them, like, doing anything special for that. Apple would be super fucking sweet. If I could voice an Apple commercial, I'm a fan of the Apple products. I've owned a lot of generations of the iPhone. So I'll put that out into the universe. Apple's a good company. PlayStation, PlayStation or Xbox even. I had an Xbox 360. I had an Xbox, the original Xbox. Made the switch over to PlayStation 4, so I like both of those. So commercial wise, I think, things that I like. I've never really been much of like a clothes guy. Like, I don't know. I really enjoy Nike's campaigns. Arby's, I would fucking love to be a part of. I think that their shit. Just fast food campaigns in general, I think would be fun. McDonald's, I like Burger King, like all this shit that I haven't really been. Well, I have been eating it. I was about to say I haven't been eating it, but I eat it without the bun when I'm in a pinch, and it's like, okay, well, I gotta go, so just no carbs. Still doing that keto. So that's the first basis, right? Is cartoons. What cartoons? Stuff by I would love to work with, with God, Andrea Romano, but she's retired now. She was the casting director behind all of my favorite shows as a child, Justice League, Batman, Superman, like all of the superhero shows. I fucking love the superhero shows. I binge watched Teen Titans Go like a few months ago, like not even that long, like 7 months ago. Because I loved the original Teen Titans. To be a part of the DC animated universe, that is a goal. That is a goal. I don't give a shit what I am. I want to be a hero, though. I want to be a fucking hero. Can I be a hero? Do I have the voice of a hero? I think I have the voice of a hero. I think I could do that. I think I could be a good comic relief hero. Maybe like a Green Arrow, or like, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out. Dante Bosco DiMartino, like the dudes behind Avatar. Let's go with that. Not Dante Bosco DiMartino. What is his name? Dante Bosco played Zuko in Avatar, The Last Airbender. Michael Dante DiMartino. Damn it, I always forget the names. They're confusing names because it's long. But those guys, I want to work with those guys. The Avatar guys. I know I've said it on previous podcasts. I'd like to do some dubbing. I'd love to do some anime dubbing. I know that it doesn't pay a lot. A lot of people have told me very specifically that the dubbing part does not pay a lot. But it's the art in it. Like a buddy of mine, I'm saying a buddy. Well, a buddy of mine also, he's also a buddy, but one of my mentors over at the studio, in great business mind, at the voice actor studio. Oh, look at this shirt I'm wearing. Boom. If you're not watching the YouTube, then you just missed out on this awesome shirt opportunity. But the voice actor studio, the husband of the woman who is my mentor, he's a great business mind. He helped her out early on with a lot of business stuff in terms of how to get the business for the voiceover stuff. And he basically was like, oh, well, like if you go into animation route, if you go into all this stuff, it's going to be more time to get the same amount of money as commercial. And I was just like, well, I'm fine with that. Like, this is the shit that wakes me up, this is why I got into it. This is the shit that I really fucking want. Like, for good reasons. Like, I was raised on television. I was raised on cartoons. Teen Titans was something. Teen Titans, Justice League, I got through very hard times in my life. Avatar: The Last Airbender, I got through extremely hard times in my life where it felt like, man, nothing is going right for me. My parents got divorced. I was diagnosed with ADHD and anxiety and depression from a young age. I wasn't good in school. I didn't have a lot of friends. And life was difficult for me growing up. And it felt like all of my dreams were away from Hawaii. It felt like nothing that I wanted, there wasn't even a place for me to start to do the things that I wanted to do back in Hawaii. And, cartoons showed me, cartoons and the show Whose Line Is It Anyway, like, just brightened my day. and it got me through things. That's why I do improv now. It's something inside of me that sparked, that made me say I want to do that, and I want to make other people laugh, and I want to make other people who might be feeling, down or feeling upset or feeling like life doesn't have a good end to it. I want to help those people and just get them through a hard time, and nothing did that for me better than cartoons, video games, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. I'm just like one of the crazy people who said like, oh, well, that's the thing that made me feel happy when I was feeling really sad, so I think that is what I would like to then in turn do for other people. And there was something magical about it, about the whole idea of making somebody laugh. So I'm getting way off topic here. Sorry, I got a lot swimming around in my brain. It's 11:48 p.m. right now, and I did not do everything that I was hoping to do today, so I'm a little scatterbrained. Anyway, here's the point. Setting goals specifically, right? Get into the animation. Just break into the field of voice acting in LA. That's number one. Number two, then be able to go around and use that clout to teach voice acting, and to be a positive voice and somebody who is who really actually gives a fuck about giving back to the community and helping out. Like, that's huge to me. That is a humongous thing. I think that there's a lot of teachers in any place that you go to, not just LA, but in any place. There are places that are built on just a school model, and it's like, we're going to make money off of this school, so I need to charge you a lot. And then, not whether or not I give a shit about you, it's just a money thing. It's motivated by money, right? I think that there are a lot of teachers, a lot of places like that. The Voice Actor Studio is not one of those places. Any place that I associate with is not one of those places. And so, yeah, I would like to be a positive influence in that way, and be a guy who made it and did it, and is doing it, teaching other people how to really make it and do it and get there and go there. I just think that's so valuable. Like, that's the value of my life, I think, is going to be how many lives I can touch, and how many people I can help and influence in my life, like people around me. And it gets difficult sometimes, but I want to reach more people, and that's a big part of why I want to get bigger, because I think my message is a positive one, which is go after your fucking dreams. Don't listen to the chatter and the noise. Like, work hard and you can do shit. That's a big thing that people need to hear sometimes. People just need to fucking hear it. I was talking with one of my students today. I was teaching improv over at one of the high schools. I won't name the one, and she was like, I want to be an actress. And I've been coaching her for like 3 years now. 3 years. And I'm like, do stuff. Like, go online, do stuff. You're 17, you got all this time, but like, go and work. And she was so adverse to the working and throwing stuff out because of how people would view her. And I was like, fuck everybody else. Who cares? Who cares? You know what you're doing. Like, you know what your dreams are. Why are you going to let other people influence what the fuck you want to do? That's insane to me. Who cares what anybody else says? Isn't your happiness more important than the judgment of other people? And we went back and forth at it, because I'm trying to guide her and not overstep a boundary, because that's also a thing. Like, I can't, but she really wants it. Is she willing to work for it? I don't know. But if she develops a work ethic, right? Because she's somebody that I said, also, you have to work harder. You don't come to all the practices. You don't do all this stuff. And I called her out, and she wasn't happy, but I'm not here to bullshit people. I don't know. It's just, I tried to say it nicely. I was like, you got to work. You got to work really hard. You got to work really hard to do this. is what I saw, was what I told her, which is true. I just want to influence more people like that. That's a big part of it. So I'm always going to be teaching. Always. No matter how big, no matter how famous, I could be the fucking Tom Hanks of voiceover tomorrow. And that would not halt me from teaching. That's how much I fucking love teaching. I would insist on making that a part of my schedule and turning down certain jobs. I get, you know, in the perfect world scenario, I'm going to be so busy that I'll be turning down jobs to be teaching. Like, yeah, I would make time to teach. Would I need to do that? I don't think I would need to do that. You know, most voiceover takes place in the daytime, early evening. I could teach night classes. Like, that's no problem to me. That's fun. And then what I'd like to do is I'd like to spread that even further, and I'd like to go into the art of keynote speaking. So I would like to, you know, be speaking on large stages, going to conventions, being one of the convention people that like goes to these conventions and answers questions and can really talk and get in front of a wide audience of people live and just, I don't know, spread some positivity. Spread something, you know. And these ambitions aren't small. These ambitions aren't small. So when I say that I could be working more and doing more stuff, and you know, I look back and I'm like, fuck, I did a lot, but you know, I spent an hour and a half watching Netflix, and I didn't need to fucking do that. I could have been doing something else. I do the same shit. I have the same struggles. I need to fix certain things about myself, like where I'm putting my time into, right? Because the better that I am now, the faster it will be that I get the things that I want. And while I understand, like, it's still a long ways out, what I'm talking about is, like, maybe I can achieve the things I want in 6 years instead of 10 if I work harder, you know? So there's that. Man, and then on top of that, I'd like to do a little bit of live performing. I don't know what capacity yet, but I think that that's also going to be a part of me. I think I'll do it at the cons, though. I think that that's where the keynote stuff will kind of sort of come in, but I digress. I completely digress. That's the goals. That is the journey. I look back. I look forward, actually. I look forward to being able to play that back in a video where I'm just doing all of the shit that I'm doing. Like, that's this journey. That's this right here. Me looking back and being like, wow, I really fucking did well on some of the things, and it took me that long, or it took me blah, blah, blah. Like, looking back at this shit is going to be very interesting to me. Like, after I've achieved all of the things that I want, you know, and then I have new things that I want, new mountains to climb, right? Like, looking back at this moment where it's like I'm finally at the base of the mountain, where it's like I can start climbing, I can start going. That's why I'm doing this podcast. Like, I'm tracking the journey. I'm tracking this journey, and you're here with me, so you'll be able to see all of it. Let's talk a little more. Let's talk. I'm doing keto. That's what's right on the top of my mind, because I made some keto lasagna for myself. I took a recipe online, and then I changed up some things, which may or may not have been a positive effect. But they wanted to make this whole cauliflower noodle, like, layer of like cauliflower noodles, and I was just like, that's super important to me, or do I really just want fucking beef and cheese for keto? And it's like, I'm just gonna take beef and cheese. So I did it. I basically did everything except for the cauliflower. That's supposed to emulate noodles. Turned out okay. Turned out all right. I don't think I drained enough of the fat from the beef when I was making it, or the you know, it wasn't completely dry, and I think that affected a lot So it came out, there's a little bit of mushiness, which I didn't thoroughly enjoy, but the rest of it turned out pretty good and tasted pretty all right. I still have about 2 or 3 servings left, so I'll eat that up. And then I bought a big thing of beef because it was like half off for this 5-pound bag of beef, ground beef. So more experimentation. I only used maybe about 40% of the bag, so I got a little bit more to play around with here. So yeah, I've been trying to cook more, cook better, experimenting with steaks, experimenting with how to make a good steak, which very helpful tips online that I got. So many, in fact. I put it out on a Facebook group that I'm a part of and got so many responses back. I have yet to buy enough steaks to try all of the answers out. It's looking like the best way is just to straight up, just hot pan, salt, pepper, both sides, let it sit for a little bit, boom, throw it on, and then take it off, fucking boom, 2 sides, take it off, let it sit for 10 minutes and let it cook on the insides, and then you're off to the races. But, I don't really I don't really like dealing with all the smoke that comes with that. So that's like one of the only shitty things, is like there is a fair amount of smoke. So I'm trying other stuff with like cooking it with butter and stuff that hopefully will circumvent that problem. But anyway, that's enough about keto. What's been going on? The play's been going on. I just had the last 3 days off, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I've had off. Tomorrow we have the show, and then Friday they have something going on called First Friday. The first Friday of every month they do something at the theater that we're a part of. So no show on that Friday. And people probably wouldn't want to come because it would be too fucking way insane. So yeah. So yeah, the show resumes tomorrow night. Friday night I'm teaching the first of a 4-week improv course. I am super fucking excited for that. Just like to the max. You have no clue how excited I am to be teaching this at the studio. I always love these 4-week courses. It looks like I have about 12 people in already, which is a good amount for an improv little group. So yeah, 4-week course begins. What else? What the fuck else has been happening? The plays have been happening. 2 days ago, or yesterday, I went to go watch a keynote speech by one of the guys in my class. He's an Olympic gold medalist in BMX. His name's Connor Fields. He is just a cool fucking dude. Like the first time I met him, maybe about 7-8 months ago in another class that I was doing, because I went in as a teacher in that class to teach some improv stuff, and this dude is just the most humble fucking guy of all time. I'm like, oh cool man, what do you do? And he's like, I'm an athlete. And I was like, oh, kick ass, dude. Like, what do you like? What type of stuff do you do? And he's like, I do I don't know. Do you know what BMX is? I was like, fuck yeah, I know what BMX is. That's tight. He's like, not everybody knows, so it's like, it's weird to. He's just like talking about it, and then somebody else has to tell me, he won a gold medal at the Olympics. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You fucking won a gold medal at the Olympics? He's like, yeah, yeah. And I was like, you fucking start with that. I was like, why aren't you wearing the medal right now? It was a whole fun conversation. But we finally we got to reconvene and re-meet. Actually, that was probably about a year ago that I met him. About 3 months ago, at the start of this class that I was a student in. I also did some improv in it, but I was a student in this class, and I've been learning a lot about keynote speaking because it's something that in the future I would like to get into. So that's the plan. I'm seeing the plan, and I'm putting myself in the position to really start making some moves, with what I'm trying to do and to back it up with the work that I'm doing. So this dude gave a speech on Tuesday morning for a corporate gig. He's been working at this speech for like almost 2 years, and he was fucking phenomenal. Just phenomenal. His speech was just well prepared, well memorized. He just laid it out, man. And he killed it. Like, you got laughs where people were supposed to get laughs. Like, people were super attuned in the entire time to every word he was saying about his journey to to winning an Olympic gold, to being the #1 fucking BMX racer in the world. That's what it is. A gold medal. That's the gold medal. Out of 7 billion people, you are the best BMX racer. That's just it. Out of 7 billion people. We were joking and he was laughing about it, but he was like, he was in the previous Olympics. He was in the 2012 Olympics in London, and he got 7th place in the Olympics. And he was like, people don't have enough respect for that. And I was like, I totally 100% get what you're saying. And he was like, yeah, people in America just have like gold fever. Like, if you didn't place gold, then it's like, even if you have a fucking award, even if you've placed in the top 3, right? Even if you are in the top 7, that really means that you're in the top, you're the #7 fucking BMX racer in the world. You're in the billionth percentile. Like, isn't that insane? But all anyone cares, oh, what medal did you get? Oh, you didn't get a medal? Oh, I guess you're not that good then. Well, fuck you. You're better than everyone except for 6 people. What the fuck? Ugh, yeah, so this dude's cool. He killed the speech. I was so happy to see him because I remember him from a year ago, and man, just marked improvement, and he's doing it. He's out there fucking doing it. He's just living life, and he's taking every fucking thing that he needs to do, and he's going and he's fucking doing it. Like, what else can you say? What else can you say about work ethic like that? There's nothing else you can say. Results are results, man. And he was the best. He was tops. He was top dog, and fucking, you could not argue that. He knew I have such respect for that dude. I asked him if he'd be on the podcast. He agreed. So stay tuned for that. I might have an Olympic gold medalist on the. I fucking hate doing that and saying that too. Like, because I'm sure everybody, like, we went to this thing and just like the whole, like, after the speech was over, people were like, can I take a picture with you? And he brought his gold medal with him to, of course, you show it. You show that thing fucking off to everybody who's there. So we're sitting there, and everybody who fucking came up was like, oh, can you take out the gold medal though? So it's like, this dude just delivered this heartwarming speech about how he went from writing this premonition out on his wall to, fucking winning it all and being a gold medal champion and beating out everyone else in the entire fucking world. And, like, it's him. But all anyone cared about, like, not all anyone cared about, but they were like, can you have the medal out? And it's just like, everybody did that, and I saw how many people did it, and I was like, fuck. Like, this guy's walking through life, and, like, all anybody is saying, and I realized in that moment, like, oh, that's why he didn't tell me he was, like, an Olympic. That's why he didn't say it, is because everybody else says it for him. And, like, that's got to be tough. That's got to be really tough. I mean, there's way worse things to be associated with, for sure, right? Than being the goal, but to just be boiled down to that, I think is so. I hate the idea of because it's almost like, oh, I'm only here because of your gold medal, when really he's just a good fucking dude. Like, I instantly liked him before, like, when I was just like, BMX is fucking badass, and we were just like hanging out. Dude, it's yeah. But I'm sure a lot of people perk up and gold medal winner. My goodness. Well, I better treat you nicer. I don't know what the fuck that is. That's like the Superman syndrome, right? Like yeah. That whole thing I get it. So I'm as much as I was joking about, yeah, he's a gold medal winner, no big deal. Like it he's a human, he's a person, and I hate that I let that slip. Like that's a bit that I honestly just let slip because it's like it's cool. Yeah, that's a part of it. He's a gold medal winner, but also he's just a really cool fucking dude. So, yeah, that's got to be a weird life to like win an Oscar or like, like just winning at a top field of anything, and then you're just like, yeah, I'm that, and then I almost feel like people want to define you by that, and it's like, no, dude, like I'm a human being, like it was the human who got to that point, and then I just happened to win this humongous thing, like I'm not different, like I'm a person. I don't know, just how much that changes things is really weird to me, and I wonder what that's going to be like for me once I'm the voice of blank and blank, or the person who is blank and blank. I'll lean into it because I don't give a fuck. Like, yeah, I'm the voice of the new Avatar or whatever, whatever the fuck it is. Like, wow, that would be cool. First of all, that would be really, really cool. Yeah, I'd be talking about that everywhere I go. What do you do? I'm a voice actor. Oh, have I heard you or anything? Yeah, maybe the voice of the Avatar. Maybe you've heard that. I don't know. And then people be like, I don't know what that is. Just be like, fuck you. Sorry, I got off on a tangent there. So, yeah, it's been really cool. Like last week, Friday was the last of the. Oh, and I talked about it on the podcast. So what's even happened? What happened Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday? Yeah, just more of kicking ass, taking names. Yeah. Tomorrow's the show. I'm excited for it. Excited to get back on my feet. Got some good reviews, which was really fucking cool. Let's turn to Twitter. Let's see what Twitter has. Let's see what Twitter news is going on, huh? Shall we? Okay. Toy Story 4 stars share an emotional behind-the-scenes look at their final recording day. Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, and Tony Hale pulled at more than a few heartstrings when they paid tribute to the iconic Disney Pixar franchise on their final day of recording. Tim Allen says, I finished my buzz for Toy Story 4 today, and it got emotional. Wonderful full-body story. You're all going to love the work this incredible team at Pixar created. We are all going to love this story. Man, it's got everything. Tom Hanks, final line, final session as Woody of Toy Story 4. We rode like the wind to infinity and beyond. Damn. Well, what's weird to me is that I'm seeing a picture, but it's like it's like not the emotional behind the scenes look that I had thought of. It's just like a silly goof picture. It's like, look, we're all goofs. Look at us all being regular people goofs. I'm the same as you and anyone else. We're just goofs. Look at us. So yeah, I don't really know what's so fucking emotional. Like that's just an awful article. That was a clickbaity article because I thought I was about to see like a fucking video or some shit that was, or just anything really. And all it is a goofy picture. It's just a goofball picture. So you got me, Twitter. You got me on that. You cashed in on my nostalgia and my love of it. Oh boy. KFC is testing out a fried chicken Cheetos sandwich. Just in time for me to fucking give up all of the best fucking foods. All right. Yesterday, the chicken sandwich will include actual Cheetos and a cheese. It better. I mean, it better. What? Why would you call it the Cheetos sandwich and use fake Cheetos? That's the why. Okay, I guess it had to be said in case somebody was skeptical and was like, I bet those aren't even real Cheetos. So I don't know why the fat guy in my head sounds like that. I wanted real Cheetos. And they don't even have real Cheetos. This is a travesty. That's fucking dumb. Okay. Made out of actual Cheetos and a cheesy sauce made out of the crunchy snacks. Oh boy, that sounds like instant diarrhea. But it will only be available in some southern states for now. I'm looking at the picture. Holy shit. This thing looks amazing. It's just an orange cheese sauce over the... Who wouldn't want just that sauce? For real. For real. If you've ever eaten Cheetos, who's never thought, what if this was an actual just cheese sauce? Oh my god. I'm gonna fucking die. I'm gonna fucking die. Oh. Oh. I hate what I'm about to say, but this is a thought that just occurred in my head. I want to go there. I want to get like the grilled chicken and just ask them to pour the sauce on the grilled chicken. On the grilled chicken that I can't have a sandwich of because it's bread, nor Cheetos, but God. Oh, they just know their demographic. They know the demographic. KFC really is on brand with this because the only person who would eat Cheetos, a sandwich made with Cheetos cheese on a chicken that you then make into a sandwich with actual Cheetos, is somebody who is willing to make a mistake, commit through with that mistake, feel awful about it, but then return for that same fucking mistake. And that is like literally the MO of KFC goers. I don't know that I've ever eaten KFC and afterwards thought, wow, what a good idea that was. You know what I mean? It's definitely a mistake. Oh, I miss their old. You know what though? Their old Twisters, which was it was like a tortilla, warm tortilla with chicken inside with like a creamy ranch sauce with lettuce and tomato and chicken fingers, and fuck was that good. That was the crown jewel of KFC. They have not served that in probably like 10 fucking years. Not since I left Hawaii, I don't think they've served that. The Twister was the shit. It was amazing. I went back like a year or two ago. I was like, do you have the Twister? They're like, what? Like it predated them. Now they got the Cheetos sandwich. Remember the Double Down? Like they just don't give a fuck. Like the Double Down just seemed like a mistake on all charges. The fucking KFC Double Down. But they're genius because they know their demographic is people who are going to be willing to try something outrageous. And they're sitting in the boardroom and they're like, guys, chicken sales. Oh, they're probably all Southern. I say, fellas, the chicken sales happen to be going down this month. And I'm wondering if there's maybe something that we can do about it. I'm just a fine Southern gentleman. I don't know why. There's probably just owned by some corporation now. There's probably just some dude named like Steve Jonesington who like owns KFC. It hasn't been owned by Southerners for forever. But my point is, they're just like, oh, well, I suppose I got an idea. He's got like a fan. He's like, I've got an idea on this hot summer eve. My idea is this. What if, you know how people enjoy Cheetos? Somebody's eating Cheetos bag. Yeah, I agree with that. Well, what happens if we take the Cheetos and get this, put it inside of the fucking sandwich? And people were like, they either stood up and applauded, laughed outrageously, or thought it was the dumbest idea of all time. And then after everyone was done fucking laughing, they were like, you know what? The people who eat here, they'd probably fucking love that shit. I bet you they would. They'd fucking, oh man, the fucking slobs who eat at this place. No, I'm not trying to bash KFC. I like KFC. I do. I'm just saying that I personally have never thought afterwards that it had been a good idea to go to KFC. It doesn't agree with me. But that's beside the point. Good for you, KFC. That marketing shit, that alone, you got to the top of Twitter news, so what the fuck else are you gonna do? Let's see. What else is going? Ricky Gervais says there's never been a better time to wind people up. The comedian followed up his criticism of outrage culture by claiming that people are going to be offended either way. Ricky Gervais, I really don't understand why comedians moan about outrage culture. There's never been a better time to wind people up. Somebody said, you're right, Ricky, but I think part of the reason why they complain about it is because once they make a statement that winds people up, they get publicly shamed, made to issue apologies, and even blacklisted. A comedian's job is to find the line and push it. To which Ricky says, exactly, I'm saying don't complain about people being offended. Ignore them or offend them some more. They're going to be offended anyway. Give them what they want. Outrage culture is an outgrowth. Somebody else says, outrage culture is an outgrowth of freedom of speech. If one person can say it, others can register any displeasure with it. If it affects a career, it means consensus can't get on board at present. And very few outrage-based cases actually end up in court. Ricky Gervais, yep, it's a good system. Oh, man. And then he posts a picture of his newest Netflix special. Man, it's tough. It's tough being, if you're not a big comedian, like if you're a big comedian, right, and you're saying something that people don't like and you've been established, like now, sure, you can say more stuff as long as the intent is there to not offend people. Like, hopefully your point comes across. And what your point is stronger. But top of that, if you're a comedian nowadays, right, and you're trying to come up, and it's like you have to tiptoe because a lot of those opportunities are going to be from comedy clubs. And if somebody complains to the comedy club, hey, that comedian offended me, right, with that joke, then if you don't have a long-standing relationship with the comedy club, you're probably not going to be asked to come back. And so then it's like, well, fuck, like, do you want me to just be clean? Like, which is what everybody says, be clean, have a clean set. And I don't believe in that either. Because some people are clean. Some people like Brian Regan, I feel like he's just in that mode and he's benefited from it. Sure, he's madly talented, but that's just him. But then there's other people like Bill Burr. And his voice is equally important, I think, to the culture and to the community and to the zeitgeist of all that exists, right? I think that the voice of a madman is also equally important. The voice of a madman who makes sense, who's very rational, who's actually thinking, a thinking man willing to offend. But would he have been able to come up now? Would Bill Burr, as we know Bill Burr, now, because he built his way up into becoming the guy that could say whatever he wanted to and then rode that wave, could he exist now? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I'm feeling, and I think that a lot of people are like, well, isn't it just easy to maybe just be nicer with your comedy? Or maybe it's better to just, maybe you just don't say, maybe you just don't say this joke. But that's a slippery slope, because then it's like if you are not willing to risk a joke not landing correctly, right, because you're shutting down an entire perspective, maybe an important perspective, because you're afraid of what might happen. And now people are taking the side of, the voice of a few, because now the internet, you can just go complain about the comedian and, mention the comedy club that you saw them at, And the comedy club will be like, well, you know, if they're not savvy, then they might be like, well, you know, this guy, we gave him a shot and one person was offended. You know, far be it from them to examine that there's, you know, there's 300 other people that came those 3 nights and one was offended. But, you know, and that's not to say that sometimes there is just generally offensive stuff that's being said with weird intent, but it's like a comedy club. You know, that's a part of it, is like that's you can, as long as it's funny, as long as you're producing comedy, that's what the club is there for. So it's like this bastion of you can, you know, say what you want as long as it's funny, as long as it's getting laughs. And the thing is, not everybody's gonna fucking laugh. Not every single person's gonna laugh at anything. So it's like, if you got offended by something and it's outrage, then you could really fuck up like someone's relationship with that club. And that's not to say that people, you know, I've seen tons of comedians cross a line, and it's like, dude, like, you didn't, like, what you're saying is actually just like really hateful. Like, what you're actually saying is just hateful. Like, I've seen that. There's like comedians getting aggressive, and it's just not out of a place of, I'm trying to make you laugh. You know, a lot of open mics and people that are just generally shitheads that are, you know, trying to be shocking, or maybe there's a part of them that actually believes something that's not, you know, that's just not good. But, you know, but those people don't work. You know what I mean? Like, those people. And it sounds like I'm contradicting myself. Let me make it clear. Let me make it absolutely clear here. There's a difference between saying something because you feel like on a stage where they give you 5 minutes of time and you can just say anything, and your intent is just to speak your mind about an issue or whatever, because you fucking want to talk to this in front of, you know, in front of a bunch of strangers. There's a difference between that and a difference between, I want to talk about this subject that's very touchy, but I think that there's comedy in this and that this can actually get laughs, because I believe that my perspective on this isn't coming from a place of hate, and it's not coming from a shitty place. It's coming from just, I want to make people laugh, and this is my perspective on this, and I think that it's funny. That's different. So, I don't know. I don't know if anybody gives a fuck about any of the shit I just said. It's just weird. It's just weird looking at comedians now and thinking about, because I gave it up really now about 1.5 years ago, and now it feels like it's just like it feels like it's a million years ago, because of how much changed, how much has changed, and how, I don't know. It helped that I was Asian, that I wasn't just some white dude going up on stage and I could talk about whatever, but I even felt it. I started feeling it, and it wasn't that people were getting offended. It was people feeling like they should be offended, if that makes sense. I used to tell a joke, and this is out of context. I built into it, but I said, man, like, you know, it's tough being Asian. Like, I you know, there's certain things you can't do. Like, I could never marry a Mexican woman, no matter how sexy I think Mexican women are. Because if an Asian man and a Mexican woman have a baby, it'll come out Filipino. That still makes me laugh. And it's so true. Like, I have Filipino friends that we just joke around about that type of shit all the time. But, like, I would tell that joke, and there's no hatred in my heart and I grew up with Filipino, like, everything. Like, I was covered in just, like, everybody thought my mom was Filipino. I'm like, I grew up in Hawaii with all this stuff. I feel like there were people who didn't even know what Filipino people were, and were getting, like, I would get a laugh, but then people would be like, oh, like it was a weird noise. It was like a noise like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't laugh at this because it's, ooh, like, it's, ooh, maybe somebody's Filipino. Like, it was never, like, I would tell a joke, and Filipino people in the audience would come after the show and shake my hand. And like, even if I wasn't the headliner, they'd spend more time with me than the headliner. And they'd be like, hey dude, that line, it's totally true, but fuck you, dude. Like, we'd be shaking heads, and I'd be, dude, it's just, it hits, it would hit, and it like, if I said that joke in a room full of Filipino people, I guarantee you it would bring down the house. It's just, that's me. That joke was like, just so like, I felt it. Because the only people, I would look into the audience, and the only people who would like be like, oh, like they were like not Filipino people, mostly white people. It was like, because I think that there's like a feeling of guilt, like, oh no, I better not laugh at that. What if a Filipino person sees me laughing at that and thinks that I'm racist? Like, it's tough. It's tough being white. I'll say that. It's tough being white right now, because it's like, God, you can't. How hard is it to not offend somebody, you know? I can empathize with that. I can really empathize with that. And we're coming into a generation where it's like, yeah, white people run the world, and, you know, I'll remember slavery, and just, you know, all this shit out there that's, I can empathize. I can empathize deeply with why that's even happening too, and why the outrage culture exists is because it's like it's a swing in the complete opposite direction of, like, you know, of in reaction to a lot of what's going on and a lot of Donald Trump stuff, like, you know, it's swinging, the pendulum swinging very far, I think, into we're getting offended by a lot of different things. Somebody told me an interesting perspective, which is that there's a lot of young people on social media that are in outcry about this, and that's what a lot of people are worried about, are millennials. And he was like, well, fucking, we're not the same people, you know. We're talking about college-age 21, 22-year-olds that are getting upset about this stuff. And he's like, I'm 26, and I'm so different from who I was when I was 21, 22. Like, I'm such a different person. So yeah, it's it's pretty interesting. It's pretty fucking interesting to watch this now as an outsider. Because now it's like I'm just getting paid to, like, say exactly what somebody wants me to say. I'm doing the acting bit. I missed the part of it where I got to say what I really wanted to say, but that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing the podcast. And I hope that none of this is being taken the wrong way. You know, anything that I say, you know, how many people would say all the things that I just said and then edit that out of the podcast? I'm not going to, because, like, this is my real shit. I'm giving you the real me. And I hope that the intention of what I'm saying doesn't come across in any way that seems malicious. This is just thoughts that I'm having, and it's tough being a comedian. It's tough. It's very tough, because you gotta be willing to speak your truth. And people who have a truth that are a certain way with their truth, like, their truth can be more successful than someone else's truth. So there's an element of that to it too, and it's just rough. It's just really rough. All right. Pierre Maguire has cringeworthy exchange with USA gold medalist Kendall Coyne Schofield. Let's see. Coyne Schofield made her NBCSN broadcasting debut on Wednesday Night Hockey and immediately had an awkward discussion with Pierre Maguire, who told her, "We're paying you to be an analyst tonight, not a fan." Coyne Schofield was named a guest analyst after becoming the first woman to compete in the NHL All-Star Skills Competition last Saturday. That's funny. Please send me this Pierre Coyne cringe.
Let's have a blast. Johnny, back to you. Hey.
It's been exciting. It's overwhelming, and I'm so excited to join you here.
So Tampa's going to be on your left. Pittsburgh's going to be on your right. What are you expecting out of this game? We're paying you.
Okay. We're paying you to be an analyst tonight, not a fan. I don't know. I really don't feel like that was that cringeworthy. If I'm being honest, I'm looking at a bunch of people who are like, dude, yeah. I just, I don't know that was cringeworthy. That just feels like, I don't know. Maybe he's smiling as he's saying this too. He's kind of got like a little smirk. So I feel like he was trying to make a joke and the joke just didn't work. And now people are like, what a fucking asshole. And there are other people who are like, he's not an asshole. You're an asshole. This is the pow. She wasn't being talked down to take the same exact actions, but replace her with a guy, and it wouldn't be a problem. Everyone was way too butthurt about this whole ordeal. Wow. Hello, Twitter. Hello, Twitter. A lot of big. I don't know. That one I'll totally just call overreaction, in my opinion. I think that was an overreaction. The cringeworthy moment? Cringeworthy. Like, I thought that, you know what's cringeworthy? Shitting your pants on stage. That's cringeworthy. That's like, ew, that made me cringe. That was just like, if I watched that in a thing, I wouldn't even pay a second thought to it. It would be like, oh, cool, okay, cool, whatever. Like it looked like he made just a bad joke. It just looked like he was trying to be funny, and he failed. That's all it seemed like. It just seemed like he was trying to make a dumb joke, and we're paying you to be an analyst, not a fan tonight. So that's the team over there. That's the team over there. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. Maybe somebody else is like, this is outrageous. I mean, on the inside, she might have been like, this is the fucking most unprofessional. And I'm saying this, and I'm not a fan of hockey or whatever. I don't know what the normal shit is, but like, I could imagine two NFL, announcers, like one of them joking and being like, hey, you might be from San Francisco, but you can't root for him tonight. You're an analyst, not a fan. I can see two NFL guys like rattling shit off like that. I just like having a little goofball fun, But maybe she didn't take it as a goof, and maybe that guy was actually trying to be an asshole. Maybe, or not trying to be an asshole, but maybe he was actually meaning it. It didn't. If I looked at his face, it doesn't look like there's any part of it that's like where he's like upset or like being an asshole. It feels like he was just trying to make a joke. And I don't know. I could be wrong. What the fuck do I know? Anyways, on that very unfunny note, let me do this commercial for the Cheetos fried chicken sandwich. I need to do that. This commercial, hey KFC, this one's on me. Okay? KFC Cheetos sandwich. Okay. It's gooey. It's delectable. It's the Cheetos sandwich from KFC. That's right. Now. No, you know what? I'm starting over. I don't know why I didn't think about it. They always do the Colonel. The Colonel's always talking about it. All right. Hey, it's the Colonel here from KFC, Colonel Sanders. Hey, do you like some chicken? Well, what else do you like? Just name the first thing that you pick up in the middle of an Overwatch match, and then what's that, Cheetos? You fucking asshole. Oh, you like Cheetos, do you? Well, now we've crumpled up Cheetos, put it into a cheese sauce, and put it on the chicken. And then we went ahead and put actual Cheetos, not those fake Cheetos, inside of a sandwich called the Cheetos Sandwich. Inventive name. Great marketing. Thanks, team. Hey, come down to KFC now. We're in select locations, which is the South, where people might actually be willing to put this shit inside of their stomachs. Come on down and get your Cheetos Sandwich. Now, only $2.99. That's right, we're practically giving away this diabetes. Anyways, come on down. KFC. Finger looking good. Finger licking good. Hey, KFC, hire me, won't you? I'm not doing a good job. I'm not doing a good job of getting people to hire me with this. That KFC would probably be very upset. I'm sorry, KFC. If you got upset at that, take a chill pill. It's outrage culture, KFC. Don't calm down. Calm down, KFC. I love KFC. Remember the Twister? I've been a longtime fan of KFC. In Hawaii, that's like one of the few places you can go to get some quality fried chicken. That's not an over-exaggeration. We don't have a lot of other shit. And a lot of the food restaurants are just Hawaiian food or Asian food. So I ate, whenever I felt like getting delicious fried chicken, guess what? It was with your spices, Colonel. Yeah, it was across from the mall, Pearl Ridge, that I used to go to a bunch. And whenever I could, even though it was across from the mall and not in the mall, I would go and walk over there to eat KFC. So that's my story. Don't judge a book by its cover. KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. All right? All right? All right, everybody. Well, I appreciate you listening. As always, thank you so much. You know what? I got to call myself out on this shit. I keep forgetting to send the stickers. Not forgetting, it's just I keep getting into busy situations. Fuck. And I need to do that. I need to send out the stickers. Please, 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 please. If you're listening, please resend me your address, and I will send you a hand-drawn letter as well. I still have the bulk of them, but please, like, resend it to me, because if I forget, then I'm going to feel fucking awful. So this is my plea. Please resend out the address so I can send you a bung sticker as well as a thank you for listening. This has been another episode of the Brent Mukai podcast. I would so greatly appreciate it if you could give a review of the podcast on wherever you're listening to the podcast. Let me know how you're doing, and I mean, honestly, just talk to me. Like, there's nothing worse than going onto social media and not having anybody talking to you. And luckily, I don't have to deal with that because y'all are here and, you know, we're chilling. I restarted up the morning Mukais, which a lot of people have been digging, so that's cool. So yeah, that's it. No big call to action. No, nothing crazy. Thanks for listening. I super appreciate it. Love you guys. Mwah. Brent Mukai, voice actor, improv trainer, entertainer. It rhymes. Get over it. I'll see you next time.